Hello, my little creatures.
Hi, this is Namrata.
And I'm Nick.
Welcome back to our podcast, Unreal Unsolved, where we take the strangest mysteries and ask, what if? If you haven't listened to our episode 1 yet, we would actually recommend that you go back and check it out because we broke down the unsettling disappearance of Malaysian Airlines flight MH370, a real life mystery that still has no definitive answer. But they have started a search again for the
Yeah,
plane and the people. So hopefully, we will have an answer.
and hopefully soon.
Yeah.
And today we're taking.
Sorry, before I go, I didn't finish what I want to say.
Oh, thanks. So
So
great.
the reason why we feel that this the episode 1 would be important is because this episode kind of anchors onto that episode. So unless you listen to that, this episode will seem kind of
Wacky, weird, mysterious, unpredictable.
all of the above.
So, can I go on?
Yes,
Yeah,
sorry.
can I talk?
Yes.
Today we're taking that mystery and cranking up the what if dial to full on conspiracy mode.
That's right. So what if a plane could actually disappear, not just from radar, but from reality itself?
We're gonna talk about time warps, alternate dimensions, and straight up sci fi level vanishings.
All right. So let's start with a theory that sounds straight out of the Twilight Zone. Did MS-370 or any plane slip into another dimension?
Okay, but hear me out. We have so many stories about things disappearing mysteriously, like ships in the Bermuda Triangle, entire groups of people, Roanoke, and even pilots who report flying into strange clouds and losing time.
Exactly. And one of the weirdest real life cases is Bruce Gernon's time slip story. So,
Group.
Bruce Gernon was flying a small plane over the Bermuda Triangle in 1970 when he saw this weird electronic fog. His words, not mine. He flies through it, and when he comes out of the other side, he's suddenly 100 miles ahead of where he should ideally have been.
So obviously, I'm gonna assume that he was calculated somehow, and that his instruments were messed up. But air traffic control confirmed that he somehow skipped ahead in time, and Bro swears that he got caught in a time vortex.
So, what if MS-370 flew into something like that? A rift, a time slip, something we don't even have the science to explain yet?
I mean, we already have theories about black holes and wormholes and quantum physics warping space and time and blah 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 blah. Why not a naturally occurring event that could just swallow a plain hole?
Alright, buckle up, because today we're throwing logic out the window and diving straight into the deep end of reality jumping madness. So, let us kind of um, disclaimer here, we're not saying anything is true. We're just going into the wackiest parts of the world that we could.
Yeah, we're gonna jump out of a plane without a parachute, but we're really seven-eyed creatures with 14 hands. um, so if you've ever wondered what life would be like if you made a different choice, or if you lived in an alternate timeline, or there was another version of you out there thriving while you're stuck in your sad life here, this episode's for you. It's for you.
And for us, because let's be honest, we're here to unravel the most unhinged theories and probably have an existential crisis
Exist.
while we're at it.
You're having an existential crisis while
Yeah,
saying the
while
word.
pronouncing the words itself. Yeah.
Oh, so today we're asking the question: what if we could actually jump realities? What would you do? What would you do? What should you do? What should you do? And more importantly, how do we know it's not already happening?
So let's get into it. So the first question is, if you could step into another reality where you made a different choice, would you do it?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah?
Absolutely.
Like seriously?
Yes, but
Mm-hmm.
only if I can view it before, like a little Netflix trailer.
Uh-huh.
Like you get a trailer of your entire life,
Right.
like parts of your life.
So basically what you're saying is that you wouldn't just blindly jump.
I mean, would you?
I mean, maybe. Like, what if the alternate life I have, okay, is like super amazing?
Mm-hmm.
What if I'm like rich? And what if, like, I don't know, I never had to pay rent?
But right, what if you like jumped into a timeline, timeline, right? Where you made like one wrong decision, and like you have to spend the rest of your life as a pigeon.
You know, knowing me, I'd actually make the best of it.
As a pigeon,
I think I would.
you think I would shoot you down?
No, I think I would make. Oh my god, can you not be so mean? I think I would actually make it.
I don't think so. You'd get so bored of it. Because what do pigeons do? They just peck at stuff. You get so bored of it,
But
and
I
you're
would
the kind of person.
fly
No, but
around.
you're the kind of person. You know, birds can't actually fly for so long, right?
Whatever.
They'll run
Even
out
if
of
I
energy.
fly for 5 minutes every 1 hour, I'm still flying.
Okay, yeah, but you're the type of person who gets so bored, you'd be like, oh, I'm so done with flying. I'm gonna do something else. But you can't do anything else because you're a pigeon.
I could shit on people.
But you get bored of that as well.
No, but if it's
You
people,
have too good of a moral conscience to keep doing
that
it.
is true. But if it's people who deserve it, I
But
do
how do you
go
know
shift
they deserve it?
shit
Because
on
you
them.
you
Shift
won't
on
be
them.
able to understand them. You're a pigeon. How do you
Okay,
know it's a
fine,
bad person?
fine. Can you not like have issues with my world I want to live in?
Yeah, but your world is wrong.
Can you shut up?
Okay.
Like seriously, what the hell?
Mm.
Okay, moving on. Let's
From
start.
the little pigeon life.
Let's start with a very basic one. Okay, if you could visit an alternate version of your life,
Yeah,
would you do it?
absolutely. No hesitation. I would like go on like full on multiverse explorer mode.
I should have known. It's literally you. Okay, but wait. What if the first version of your life, sorry, what is the first version of your life that you actually want to see in this whole jump that you've made?
In the whole jump that I made, the first version.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's pretty easy. Like the one where I actually like stuck to learning an instrument and like
Mm-hmm.
became a world famous like musician.
Wouldn't that be like amazing?
I know, right? And I would just like have like a rock star version of me out there, just like shredding the guitar and like shredding the drums and like doing like I'll be massively rich
Oh, okay. And what is this version of you doing right now?
right now at this second at this moment.
Yeah.
I'd probably be on like a world tour, like being like super cool and like
Mm-hmm.
having millions of fans. Unlike me right now, who's sitting here and debating alternate realities.
That's fair actually. But I want to visit the timeline where I actually said yes to that one huge opportunity I chickened out of. Just to kind of see what had happened.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about. And like, what if that version of you is like wildly successful, like billionaire successful?
I would kind of hate myself now, wouldn't I?
Good.
Thanks.
Okay. So this is the point where it gets like really dangerous. The moment you know how much better your life could have been, how do you even get back to this one?
True point. I mean, I don't know. What if I still feel like you would still make the best of what you get.
Right.
Because you are making the best of what you're getting right now,
Yeah.
right? It's not like you knew. I don't know. It's weird.
But like at the same time, you also have to think, what if like my alternate reality is so much worse?
Yeah,
Right?
that's true.
What if like I'm in a full like dystopian reality where like you have to dance for 15 minutes per day to get 1 cent?
Oh my god, that's so bad.
Yeah, like so you're just constantly dancing
Yeah,
just to get like a couple cents off the dollar.
exactly. So, if this whole infinite theories and realities actually exist,
Yeah.
that means there is a version of us that's actually made every possible choice in the world.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if we all end up meeting?
Oh my god, wouldn't that be epic?
That would be like such. I'm like I genuinely believe that we are like we're made up of all our choices, and
Yeah.
we are what what we've
Yeah.
kind of brought our life to.
Yeah.
So the Namrata from another reality may be nothing like me
Yeah.
because of the
True.
choices that she's made, or the choices that I would have made, or whatever.
Yeah.
Like this whole thing, like they'll be maybe they're just total opposites of each other,
Right.
and I don't know if I would want to be that.
Yeah. I see you.
Yeah.
I see your point. That's so true. Like you never know who you're. Is it someone at like what I mean
Yeah.
is that you know you who you are as a person to some extent you do like yourself,
Yeah.
right? And then you see another version of yourself
Yeah.
who you could have been and you're like shit dude, I could have been I'm so close to being that person,
Yeah.
right? So it does like sort of make you feel bad about it being like I have an extent to be this kind of person.
Yeah. And just different choices led me there. and
Right,
The
right.
same choice that can led me here.
But like what if a choice I make 3 years in the future leads me here?
Exactly.
Like you never know. Right? So there's so many different versions of us.
Mm-hmm.
There could be a version of me that became a doctor, version of me that goddamn lives in the woods off the grid.
I I do not think you could do that. You would not survive.
Do you really think so?
Or maybe that version of you would
Yeah,
survive.
yeah, maybe.
But this version of you could not survive.
Yeah.
Okay, and maybe a version of me, or actually, I think this suits you more.
Okay.
Maybe there's a version of you out there that's actually a criminal mastermind. Like, kind of just to balance the whole thing out with being a doctor and being everything else. You could actually be a criminal
Okay,
mastermind
so
out there.
okay, listen, in an infinite multiverse, that's not impossible, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe in like some other timeline, I'm like a highly skilled jewel thief.
I could see you in this timeline itself. Like, why
Really?
wait for the time? I know about skilled, but thief,
Thanks.
yes.
You know, I really think you'd be good at like, you know, in those spy movies,
Mm.
those people who create the like, oh, the
Gadgets?
gadgets
Mm-hmm.
and that, and like the people who test them out.
Yeah.
I think that's so you.
Yeah. So it kind of explains, right, your suspiciously good knowledge of heist movies.
Yeah.
Suddenly just all of this thing. I'm telling you, you would be a good one.
I think you would be. I think you're so good at thinking of like new objects and like stuff we need. I
Mm-hmm.
really do think you'd be good at the whole gadget making, and you're also really good at like what's the word? Predicting what
Mm-hmm.
people need and what
Right.
people want, so the like spy team doesn't even have to like
Say it and they have a
forget
gadget
that.
ready.
No, you would be the spy. Do you know how sneaky she is? She is so sneaky. No, you'd be a spy for sure. And on the side, you created your own stuff, but you'd majorly be a spy.
I I can actually see
Yeah,
that.
I think you're for sure a spy. But I don't think you're the spy who goes and kills people. I think you're the spy who just spies on people, gets information.
So like a
comes back.
private investigator, basically.
No, no, like more cool.
Okay.
Like
No offense to private investigator.
yeah, but like like I mean like you're like going against the government, you're going against this people, you're against that people. Like
Mm-hmm.
you're living a life of action. Right? Private investigators at meh. Right? So this means that there are timelines where we're living the worst versions of ourselves.
Yeah, and that's the scary part, isn't it?
Right? Like barely scraping by and like making all of the like worst decisions.
Which kind of brings us to the next question. We say which says that are we in one of the good timelines or the bad ones? What if this is the worst version of us? What if this people, two people are sitting here, are actually the worst one, who we think are not are good people or good versions? What if there's versions out there that's so great that we are the bad versions?
So thanks for the
No, I'm just saying,
self-esteem.
just imagine, what if we are the worst versions?
Okay, I think we're in like a meh kind of timeline. Like we're in between. Like things are fine. They're okay. But like they could be way better. Like I could be a billionaire. Are you joking? But I could also be like a poor orphan on the street begging.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. So I don't think we're in like
I
the
guess
worst ones.
everyone's just living their midlife.
Yeah, like yeah, I think yeah.
Right, because I mean, technically, if you see, everyone's life has ups and downs. There are times
Yeah.
you're amazing. There are times you're having
Oh yeah,
the
for
worst
sure.
possible day in your you could ever have. But then everything kind of balances out.
Yeah, because like the next day you'll have the worst possible day.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think we're in an timeline.
Yeah, I guess
Like you don't hate it, but you don't love it.
exactly. So let's say that we had this ability to kind of peek into other versions of our lives. Would you actually want to know? Like we're talking about how there are these different things. We could be this, we could be that, and let's say you are actually given maybe like once in every 365 days, you can peek into that other versions of you,
Yeah.
kind of get an update on what's going to happen there.
Like
Would
wiki
you?
updates.
Yeah, like my yearly updates,
Yearly,
basically.
yearly, yeah.
But like, would you do that?
Um, I would say I think
Okay.
I think, but also like if I saw this billionaire version of myself, or not even just billionaire, like amazing, stunning, living the best life,
All the right things, all
yeah,
the right choices.
this better version of myself, would I be like would I be able to live with myself after that?
See, that's the thing, right?
Yeah,
Like, imagine finding out that there's one reality while there where you're so successful.
yeah.
You're living everything you felt you could not achieve in this reality. You're living your dream life, and you just kind of have to come back to this version where, I don't know, you still have to wake up, you have to go to school. In your case, you still have to study, and the other version of you is just living the best life, and you're like, why am I here?
I would kill myself. I promise you, as soon as I come back to my reality, you will find me bleeding out. I would not be able to survive
That
that.
got dark.
Will not be able to survive that. There won't be a me in this reality if I see that. Anyways, um, let's move on to something happier for us, but then sadder for the alternate versions of us. Right? What if it's like completely
Sorry, you were saying.
like what if it's like completely opposite? What if it's like you see a version of yourself that's like so much worse off, and like you feel better about your life?
That's true. Like, I mean, if it's like when you complain about a situation and then you hear that someone has it way worse,
Yeah.
and somehow you're like, oh, never mind. Like, I'll just shut up about mine because hey, you have it worse.
Right, exactly. So we can draw a conclusion from this, yeah?
Yeah.
Right? So visiting these alternate realities can either give us like a huge existential crisis and like want to make us like drop dead,
Yeah.
or they can give us like a massive ego boost.
Exactly.
I would like the massive ego boost.
I think everyone would. No one wants.
Yeah, but also I
No
think
one wants
I think
existential
if I'm
crisis.
extremely rich, I think I would give my other version of myself at least like $1 billion, $1 million.
See, but that's the thing. We aren't talking about whether those versions are meeting. We're just saying you get a look into that version.
Okay, yeah, but
So there's a chance maybe you don't even meet that version. You just look at it from the outside.
I'd write them a note and say, hey, this is me from Earth 2031. Hey, can you just give me like $1 million? Oh, what if our currencies aren't the same?
And why? And would you, let's say today, see a note somewhere being like, "Hey, I'm from this. Give me money." You just give money.
See. What if
You
what if
of all people.
listen? No, but this is another version of me. This is a really successful version of me.
Successful, but
Like
then
billionaire.
I got you. No, I'm not saying about where the money would come from.
Yeah.
It's the money that you just give off someone money.
If I have enough, and if it's like, if I can prove like that is me to me, I would give them the money. Like, how would I prove it though? Like, we've had different lifestyles.
Yes, but then you just had one note. What do you
Okay,
prove it?
so can we now talk about my other question? What if they're different currencies and I go and ask for this money, and let's say they give it, but theirs is in like
In this one is hardly anything.
right, exactly.
Yeah.
And
You just had the bad. You just have bad luck.
yeah, like oh, I'm like, hey, can you just they give me like $1.5 million, like 1.5 million,
Mm-hmm.
right? But then you put it into our currency, and can you even convert it? That's a big question, isn't it? And let's say somehow I find like Steve Jobs creates like this wonderful way to create like transfer and convert the money,
Mm-hmm.
right? So like, what if it's only worth like a little pouch over here,
Yeah. See, that's
right?
kind of the
So like, you need to have
things that you
details
would.
about how much this goes.
Yeah. Okay. So now let's leave this and let's go full philosophical for a second.
Oh.
Okay. So if you meet, now we're actually meeting, right?
Okay.
So
Yeah,
if
so I
you
can get the money.
meet another version of yourself
Yeah.
in another reality,
Yeah.
right? Are they still you, or are they someone entirely different? Like we were discussing,
Yeah.
right? If your choices are what make you, so does this person now is totally different because of the choices that they made?
Yeah.
Or do they still have some amount of resemblance and some amount of connection to this person that you are? Because at the end of the day, everyone's just, you can reduce each like a person just to that one
Yeah.
thing, right?
Yeah. So
So yeah.
Making me think a little too much. My brain's hurting. So I think they would be like me, but like the complete opposite, like completely different. So what I think is, yeah, obviously your choices make you, but there has to be like one thing that stays the same with me.
Okay.
Like it
That makes
doesn't matter about looks, blah blah blah,
yeah,
none
yeah,
of
yeah, of
that.
course. No, we're not talking about looks
Yeah.
as that
So
all, right?
there has to be like one personality thing
Yeah.
that like
Personality trait.
yeah, personality trait that kind of binds us all together.
Okay. Now let me take this a little further. Right? How different can you be before you actually stop being you? Before you stops being you? If
Why
every version is gonna be different but one part, different but one part, where is that where you reach with nothing is just the same anymore?
why do you hate me? This is crazy. Okay. So so different, it's me, but like couple things are changed, and it's me but couple things are changed.
Exactly,
Right?
right?
So
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 where is that point where it's no longer you because everything because again this me you it's like the I forgot what it's called theories of rel- mul-
multiverse, the
no, not multiverse, it's called something, isn't it, when you multiply each thing again and again, like for example now you let's say you and version
multiplier
your
effect,
version A,
butterfly
yeah,
effect.
your version A, your version B, right?
Yeah.
So version B has already got one thing of you
Yeah.
and remaining other things of its own,
Yeah.
right? Now version C will have a thing of version B
Yeah.
and things of its own.
Yeah.
So how much of version A is going into version C?
Yeah.
Which then means how much of the original is there, maybe even 6 or 7 versions down,
Yeah.
because it's all picking up the previous versions.
Whoa. Damn.
Right?
Okay, so let's like break it down.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Version of me
Mm-hmm.
grew up in a totally different environment,
Mm-hmm.
had different friends, had different choices, made different choices, had different family, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Like at what point are they just like a separate person?
Exactly, right? That's exactly what I'm
Right.
saying. Like, let's say there's a version of me that never got to things that I love now. Like, would I even recognize them as myself? Because the things that mean the most to me, the things
Yeah.
that something I love the most,
Yeah.
somehow is just never part of that version.
I think I think when you would stop being you, like
Yeah.
as in like we're going
Yeah.
planet. I think when you would stop being you is when you reach a reality where you don't read. That because Namrata does not read in that universe. So obviously you guys don't know us, but like she reads like what was it last year? 200 and something books last year?
280.
286?
286 in 2022.
2022. And then what was it? What was your highest in a year? Do you know?
This was the highest because after
Oh,
that I
okay.
stopped finding books to
Oh
read.
yeah, so she stopped finding books. So if you have recommendations for her,
Yeah, I
just
read. I'm okay with reading anything as long as I have books to read.
but she doesn't like fantasy or
Yeah, I don't
murder
like
mystery.
fantasy. I don't
She
like.
only likes romance,
Basically, yeah.
and I'll read anything as long as it's. You're crazy. Oh, but like I think it stopped being you. Like you are no longer the same person
Mm-hmm.
in that alternate reality if that person does not read a book a year. If they read zero books per year, that includes like the like little page on the magazines or little text on newspapers.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They just don't. The only thing they read is like the captions on photos.
Yeah.
Oh, another thing. Um, there will be you if they like Instagram posts. Like double tap them and reels. It won't be you because she doesn't do that. It annoys me.
Yeah, I think it's kind of obvious. I don't have to what you said.
Yeah. Okay. So let's say there's like a version of you, right? That made the same choices until you're, let's say, like 20. This question
Right.
is to you. It can't apply to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then their life went like a complete different direction. Are you still the person you are, or are they still you, or like are they a stranger who used to be like you?
Yeah. See, now this is what I don't like because now I'm even questioning if I know myself.
Welcome to the identity crisis. I don't think we're gonna enjoy our stay.
Okay. Okay. All right. So clearly, we're not the first people who went down this road of existential rabbit hole, right?
Yeah.
There's so many books and movies
Yeah.
that can explore this whole alternative universe and timeline thing.
Yeah, like everything everywhere at once.
Oh yeah,
Right? That movie basically said, here, have an existential have an
existential. Someone was
exist
making fun.
have an existential crisis. Oh, and here's some googly eyes.
Right? Or the butterfly effect, where changing one small decision completely rewrites the future.
Oof, that movie gave me so many trust issues.
Tell me about it.
Like I will not think. I'm like
Now,
like
not.
like I'm going to think like 5 times before even making like the smallest choice or decision.
Exactly, right? So then, of course, there's the Midnight Library, which is basically about a woman who's kind of seeing all the alternate versions of her life, and then she's trying to figure out which one would have made her the happiest.
And spoiler alert, none of them are perfect.
Yeah, which I felt was great. If
Yeah.
they had made it seem like one of them was perfect, then I feel like you wouldn't feel it's real because
Right.
no one can ever. Grass is always green on the other side, right? No one's
Yeah.
ever happy with everything they have.
Right, because like every reality has its own issues.
Exactly. And of course, then there's a real kicker that no matter what timeline you're on, there's no such thing as perfect,
Yeah.
right? So I don't know whether it's more comforting or it's depressing, but I guess it depends on how you look at it,
Yeah.
right? Whether it's comforting that there's no perfect life
Mm.
or it's depressing that there's no perfect life.
Oh, this is like twisting on my brain. But basically, the moral of the story is that, like you said, the grass may not be greener in another reality. And if you choose to visit one, it might not be the best and you just may regret it at the end of the day.
Or you might be living as a rock star while I'm stuck here talking to you.
Oh, so you're saying you don't enjoy talking to me?
No, I would have loved the rock star bit a bit more, maybe. A lot more
What if I'm
experience, you
like,
see.
what if I'm like a joke?
See, what makes you say you're not right now?
How rude! Why? Okay, harsh but fair. Okay, fine.
You see it?
Yeah, shut up. I'm not a jerk. You're so like, you're so weird.
You're not a jerk.
I'm not a jerk.
Just when you don't want to be.
Ah, no. Okay,
Right.
why don't we make this even weirder?
Okay.
Right? What if like someone you knew, like I don't know, your best friend, so me, came up to you like on a random day and was like, I swear I remember things differently. I think I'm from another reality.
If you come and tell me this, I'm only gonna guess you haven't slept in years.
Yeah.
Which is but the problem with you is no matter how much you sleep, you just can still keep sleeping.
Yeah, I
So it's
sleep
another
anywhere.
Tuesday afternoon for us if you start
Yeah.
talking like this. Or maybe it's back to you just having too much coffee.
But if I have coffee, I fall asleep.
Exactly my point. So then you've just slept too much that you know what? For
Yeah.
others maybe it's sleep deprived. For you I think it's you've just slept too much.
I've just slept too much and I just
Yeah.
start spouting this
Yeah.
nonsense.
Yeah.
Okay, but what if I could like prove it to you, right? What if I knew something about you that like no one in the world knows? Like I wouldn't know it. Like something about that's impossible.
Okay, you know what? This kind of reminds me of something.
Yeah.
It's actually wait, let me. It's a story. Okay, I mean it's
Yeah.
it's basically an incident about this man. He's a man from Taured, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
I think
do you remember the story?
I think I do. It's like something about like some guy at the airport
Yeah, exactly.
with the like a passport from another from a country that doesn't exist. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Right. So it's 1954, I think, if I'm not right. I think
If you're
that's
not
the
right.
if I'm not wrong. Sorry. Okay, but it's Tokyo's airport, which is Tokyo Haneda. Haneda. Anyway, it's a Tokyo airport, and there's this businessman who arrives. Okay, he has his hand over his passport, and the officer is quite confused because his passport though looks very legit, but it just has stamps from all over the world, right?
Yeah.
But the country that's listed is Taured.
Yeah.
And Taured is a place that obviously does not exist. I mean, no one knows a place called Taured.
Yeah. And like from what I remember reading, like this guy was like completely convinced that Taured was real.
Yeah.
Like genuinely, he was looking at the officers like he was crazy. And he even pointed to a map, and he got mad when Andorra was there instead of his so-called country.
Exactly.
Right?
And he even had said how Taured had existed for over thousand years. And when obviously the officers kind of detained him in a hotel room because they were still trying to figure things out,
Yeah.
right? And the next morning he was just gone. Like there was no trace of him.
Yeah.
And there was no, obviously he was in a hotel in a room
Yeah.
which was guarded by security.
Mm.
So it's not like he just vanished. Sorry, it's not like he could just escape.
Yeah.
He literally just vanished.
See, I didn't know the last part of it.
Yeah.
I thought he was just stuck in the hotel room.
No, that's the thing, right? So then next day morning when they went after that trying to figure out that hey, there's
Yeah.
nothing that we can figure out. Let's go and talk to this guy again. Or
Yeah.
maybe they got someone with a bit more experience in
Yeah.
all of this kind of thing and be like, hey, let's you should talk to him.
Yeah.
And they come to the hotel room and he's just vanished.
Oh shit, dude. So this gives us two possibilities, doesn't it? So either he's like from a parallel universe and like accidentally like came into or like slipped into our like reality, or this dude is like the most dedicated prankster in like every single reality there is.
Or maybe he's just a really stressed out and businessman who kind of had too many drinks on the flight.
Yeah.
I mean, technically he did point out that.
Yeah, but like, what about the passport?
Yeah, so that's
Maybe he just
he's a prankster who had a lot of drinks, so
drinks
he
on
was
the
actually
thing.
quite. He started believing his own
Ah,
nonsense.
yeah. I see it.
Okay, so but now let's bring this more to a personal level, right? So imagine someone close to you, someone that maybe you've known for years. They just wake up one day and they start saying that they kind of say things that don't make sense,
Yeah,
and they remember stuff that never happened,
yeah.
or they forgot huge moments that they were actually part of,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Um,
No. Don't ever talk about. Absolutely not. You know what I do?
yeah.
I would call an exorcist, a scientist, and probably a therapist, like all at the same time.
Oh my god, can you imagine you sitting in that room with all of these people and be like, please tell this person they're mad.
Yeah. No, like I'd have multiple of them.
Clinically diagnose them as mad.
Yeah, like schizophrenia. I don't know.
Okay, but seriously, like, would you do it? Like, would you believe them or just assume that they're messing with you?
Okay, so I think like my genuine first instinct
Mm-hmm.
would be like to assume they're like trying to gaslight me.
Mm-hmm.
Be like, oh, you don't remember this is happening?
Mm-hmm.
Nice try. Ha 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 ha.
Okay, but what if they were extremely specific? Like they start describing a different version of events, and there's a lot of confidence in the way they're saying it.
Okay, see, this is where I get into trouble because I already struggle with my memory and like remembering things correctly. So they would convince me that I'm wrong. Like, oh yeah, we went to the park on this day, this, and you fell off and actually let's in this reality I actually didn't fall off. I'd be like, oh my god, yeah, look at this weird scratch I have from it. Oh my god, actually, is that what happened?
Okay, so now let's take it one step further. And you say that, hey, okay, now this person's already here, right? How would and obviously we want to prove whether they are from the alternative reality or not. How would you actually test them then?
Oof. Okay, so
Good question, isn't it?
yeah,
Thank you.
you're welcome. Do you have any idea what you would do?
What would I do?
Yeah.
You see the fact that I was asking, so I thought I didn't have to think of an answer.
Yeah, no, I hear you, but I back at it.
But I feel like one way to be like kind of, I feel what I would do is I would like ask maybe like the most recent events.
Yeah.
Okay. Even if, so the thing is, even if they had like different answers or answers that didn't make sense, Like how far can you push? Like you can maybe twist one event.
Yeah.
You can maybe twist two events. You
Mhm.
cannot twist every event that has happened and make new on the spot
True.
explanations,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So there must be some truth to things that you're saying.
Yeah.
So I think that was one way I would try, maybe.
Hmm.
What would you do?
Okay. So I'm gonna take the opposite route from you.
Okay.
I'm gonna hit them with like deep cut like childhood memories. Like, oh hey, what was my favorite snack when I was 7? But like that's a really bad example as a question.
Okay, but what if the person's from a reality where you are totally different and hence the answer that you're looking for may be wrong. Sorry, the answer they give may be wrong to you, but right according to that version of you.
I don't remember my favorite snack when I was 7, so it would technically be like a trick question because I wouldn't know and I'd just like willingly believe them.
Yeah, but it could also be possible this way, right? Like
Right.
even if you know exactly the answer,
Yeah.
what if the answer is wrong for this version of you,
Yeah.
but it is true to that version of you?
So we have a problem then, don't we?
Yeah.
Right. So I'd find like a better test. Childhood theme songs.
Okay.
Right. If they suddenly start singing like a completely different version, I'm freaking out. I'm going. I'll start spinning in headstands. I'll start waving my arms like crazy. Report them to the police.
You know what I think of?
What?
Can you imagine if they start singing the SpongeBob SquarePants theme song as
Yeah.
Who lives under a seashell under the sand? Who lives in a seashell under the sand? SpongeBob Square.
That I'm out. No, no. Reality is broken. We're done here. No, thank you. Get out.
Okay, but I think the ultimate test would be the memories that of some embarrassing moments that were shared. Like if they can't remember something that was painfully so embarrassing and awkward that we both went through, then I don't think that's my person. Because hey, memories is what makes us connected to each other, right?
Right. Like that, or like they've blocked out the. What if they like blocked out it completely in their head, like blocked out the trauma, which honestly,
I
understandable.
wouldn't blame them, yeah.
Completely fair.
So I think the moral of the story is that if someone in your life suddenly starts acting weird, either they're from another dimension
Timeline,
or
reality.
timeline, or they just have a bad memory, which is in her case her.
Thanks. Or they're gaslighting you. Either way, more trust issues. But remember, gaslight, keep girl boss. GGG.
I love the way you had to struggle with that. But yeah, I mean, and don't we have enough trust issues already? Why do we need new set?
Yeah, so if you're from another reality, another universe, go back. And if you are, do you have like something like really nice, like peanut butter, like and jelly sandwiches, but it's like different? Like,
My God, can you imagine how food would be different
oh
in
my
that
god, yeah.
version?
Like, what if they eat like sticks? Okay, if you,
Sticks.
yeah, like, yeah, like that's how the digestive systems are. But if you eat sticks, I don't want any food from your planet, thanks. But if you have something like interesting that's like my kind of food, how would you know my kind of food?
Exactly.
I'm gonna shut up now.
Okay. So now
No.
let's go into another kind of segment, right?
Yeah.
So we're saying
I don't
the
trust you.
so what if we had a machine that could okay, I'll tell you where I'm getting this thought from, okay?
Okay.
If you see it like recently, we keep seeing these videos
Yeah.
where they're like, "Oh my god, the reality is glitching. This is there a glitch happening right now?"
Yeah.
And there's just so much talk about glitches,
Yeah.
right? That people feel like we're in a simulation,
Yeah.
and there's some glitch that's kind of telling us that we're part of the simulation. It's
Yeah.
not all natural and all. So I'm saying, so what if we had a machine that could actually detect when reality glitches or when it just shifts?
So you mean like kind of like an alert system for like parallel universe slip ups?
Exactly, right? Like we all just keep contemplating, oh, this is happening, that is happening. I'm saying, what if there's actually a machine
Yeah.
that is able to pick up and say that, hey, something's shifting right now, something's happening right
Yeah.
now.
But that would be like so horrifying. Like imagine if your favorite song like never existed. And so there's also like a theory based on this.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's called the lamp theory.
Okay.
So what it is you're in your perfect life, everything is going great for you,
Mm-hmm.
and blah blah blah, and then suddenly, like a lamp,
Okay.
street light lamp, whatever,
Uh-huh.
it starts glitching.
Okay.
So
And that kind of tells you it's shifting?
you're in a reality which doesn't exist,
Oh.
because that thing is not solid. It's glitching.
Right.
So your perfect life isn't actually real.
Oh. Oh. Okay.
So that's what I've heard, at least. I think it's called the lamp theory.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, it's people like, oh, let's say if your dream was to have 3 kids and with your partner,
Yeah.
right? And your partner died,
Mm-hmm.
and then suddenly there's this random thing where your whole life is perfect. You're with your partner and your 3 children, and everything's happy. Everything's gone wrong when like a lamp just starts
Yeah.
glitching.
I get you. So there are, like you're saying, there are countless stories online of people actually experiencing things, and they call this, glitches in the
Yeah,
matrix and shit like that. So where moments somehow like reality seems to break, or something that happens that's kind of defying logic,
yeah,
right, or even physics. And some of these are obviously easily dismissed as false memories, or basically just some things that people are just going around with. But some of them are really hard to explain.
yeah. So we've got like time slips
Mm-hmm.
and disappearing objects.
Right.
So one of the most like common glitches is that people report that time is behaving. Yes,
Okay.
time is behaving. So you guys are in an alternate universe right now. Behaving is how you think behaving. So it's time is behaving strangely, where like someone experiences lost time and time loops and even sees things that shouldn't be there. We've got the vanishing and reappearing object phenomenon, VARD, VARD. You swear you put your keys on the table and you search everywhere and freak out a little bit, only to find them exactly where you looked like 5 minutes later. Could this be like reality briefly shifting? Or are we just slipping between slightly different versions of our world?
Can you imagine that?
Yeah.
That every time you can't find something is because you've switched a reality,
Yeah.
and that's why it's not where it was.
See, that's so crazy and it like
Can you imagine the
boggles my
morning
mind.
from when you get up till you leave either to school or office? How many realities are you switching?
Damn. Damn. Okay. My mind is like tweaking out. Another glitch kind of thing we have is people appearing from nowhere. There are stories of people seeing someone who wasn't there like a second ago. We've probably seen like videos such as this online,
Yeah.
right? Where they're there for in 1 second and then they're suddenly vanishing. And some people claim that I've met people who seem confused about where they were, as if they'd like walked into the wrong reality. And then we've got the man who walked out of time. A Reddit user once shared that his grandfather worked security in a government building where a man walked in wearing a 90s 50s style clothing and he looked like extremely confused and he just stared around and then suddenly vanished. But then later, the security footage showed him appearing out of nowhere, looking shocked and then blinking out of existence with absolutely no explanation.
See, all these things are just so freaky,
Yeah.
right? So then you also have another set, which is the doppelgangers and the alternate versions of reality, right? So this type of glitch is where you kind of freak out because you're meeting someone who looks exactly like someone else,
Mm,
or someone that you know, but there's just something off about them.
yeah.
So one case is of the wrong parents, where one person reported that they came home to their parents, having a normal conversation, and then getting a phone call from their real parents who are still out of town. And when they turned back, the parents in the house were just gone.
Bro, that's so freaky.
It's also more paranormal than freaky, isn't it? Like, were they like,
No, 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 no.
you want me to leave it at that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because,
Okay.
like, what if I look away for a second and then you're not here again?
And I call you saying, hey, I'll be a little late today. Who have you been doing all this with all this?
Okay,
Is
why?
this really
No,
me?
listen. This is the worst part
Is this
because
podcast really
everyone
happening
is
right
because
now?
everyone tries to convince me that I'm schizophrenic because
What?
all my friends were like,
Okay.
I'm just a figment of your imagination. I don't really exist. You've been talking to air the entire time. So don't do this to me. I will get like completely paranoid. Because can you talk? Are you here? Do you exist? Am I making you up?
You never know.
Oh, shut
But
up.
anyway, the second case is of a doppelganger who knew too much. So there was a woman on TikTok who claimed that she saw her best friend in a coffee shop and had this, full conversation with her.
Yeah.
But an hour later, she got a text from her real best friend who had actually been out of town the whole time.
Okay, but what if this was a prank?
Could be. You never know. That's the whole
Right?
point, right? We don't know
Yeah.
what is true, what it isn't.
Yeah.
Then we have another case, which is the office that didn't exist, right? So, man, he reports going to work, noticing that the office layout is really different and like totally different. And then he sees that his coworkers don't actually recognize him anymore. And then when he went home confused, and when he returned the next day, everything was perfectly back to normal. So, did he accidentally like walk into a different version of his office?
I mean, possibly. But let's have a little story time.
Okay.
Because I've had a thing with doppelgangers.
Okay.
Okay, so you know the theory where you're going to, if you see your doppelganger, you're really going to get hurt or you're
Uh-huh.
going to die.
Yeah.
You know that theory, right?
Yeah.
So have seen my doppelganger and I got hurt because of it. And you were there when this happened, by the way. You just refused to believe me. This was when I was a very young child. I don't know if it's very young, but us and a couple relatives of ours, I think our cousins, we were all at the park and I was swinging on a thing on a swing. No, it is real. I saw my doppelganger. Stop laughing. Stop it. I saw my doppelganger. Okay, and I was wearing a dress. And I think it had flowers on it. Yes, it had flowers on it. It's a romantic experience for me.
I can guarantee you none of this happened. The whole flowers on the dress.
It did. It did. It did.
The incident she's talking about happened, yes, because I was there. But all of this other extra information that's going around, I really don't think it happened.
Because I know, I remember that day. But anyways, so I'm swinging on the swing, la 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 la, and then suddenly I look over my shoulder. So she's swinging me because
No,
I was
I'm
a
not. I
child.
was standing opposite you.
Then who's swinging
It was
me?
our cousin sister.
Okay,
Was
so
swinging.
our cousin, I knew
You
someone.
see
Was
the
swinging
gaps
me.
in the story?
No, someone was swinging me.
Yeah.
And you were on the other side, right? Yeah,
Gaps.
you're correct.
Gaps.
So I'm being swinged, right? And then I just look over my shoulder, and then there is this girl wearing the exact same dress as me, and I thought looked alike, right? And then you'll obviously guess when a child has their entire back turned on a swing, they fall behind on their back on the floor. And I scraped my knee or something. I got hurt. My
You
knee,
didn't.
shoulder.
Nothing.
Didn't I get hurt?
Not at all.
Then why were you crying?
Because we just thought that we were supposed to be the big sisters who kind of like let let you fall.
So they started crying because
Yeah, because
I didn't get hurt. But yeah, I met my doppelganger and no one believes me. Real story, true story.
Yeah, sure. Let's go with that.
She's a bully.
Am I?
Yeah.
Okay. Rather be a bully than liar.
I'm not a liar.
Okay.
I don't like you. So, getting back to our goddamn original thing. Ugh, this is so annoying and no one believes me. But anyways, let's say like science proved it tomorrow that like we're constantly slipping between slightly different versions of reality. How do you think people would react? Like, would we even care? I feel like like some people would like lose their minds,
I see that.
right? Especially if they realize that their memories don't match the new reality.
And that's so scary, isn't it? Can you
Yeah.
imagine everything that you've thought till now suddenly is just not true anymore?
Right. But like others might not even notice at all. What if it like happens constantly and constantly? But then the shifts are like so tiny and so minuscule that we never realize.
And you know what? What if we can actually use this to our advantage, right? So
Yeah.
imagine if we learned how to control reality shifts.
Yeah.
And so whenever we wanted, so we chose whichever version we wanted to enter.
Yeah.
So would do you think people would actually abuse this power?
I think so.
You think so?
I think so. I think there are very limited amount of good, per se, good people in this world.
Yeah.
For sure, people will abuse it.
I think so too. And I also feel like would maybe governments start trying to start regulate this or trying to start control this whole reality jumping? Will it be another fiasco,
I don't doubt it.
chaos for everything?
I do not doubt it.
Yeah.
Especially because there is a theory about MH370
Yeah.
where that the government could have done something
Yeah.
like short
Did
it
it,
down,
yeah.
taken it somewhere. So I genuinely do not doubt it. If any governments are listening, don't come for me. But like I don't doubt it. So do we have the chaos of proof? Do we? Do we really? If someone came, right? Like if someone could prove that they came from another timeline, how would that affect our like laws and history or like personal relationships? What if like someone came from an alternate dimension and then say, "Oh, hey, I'm your real sister" to you?
Right.
Would like how would that affect our relation? And they have everything to prove. Like, oh my God, you like this, you do this, you were born at this time, you did this.
Exactly. So that's exactly what that counts. That how do you handle that? And I think it's I don't know. I mean, no matter who comes,
Yeah,
I think us being sisters
yeah,
is less to do with the fact that we were born from the same parents
yeah,
and we have the same blood running in our veins, and more to do about the fact of what we've gone through from our childhood till now,
yeah,
the memories we've shared, the
yeah,
secrets we've shared, the nights, the nights we spent talking,
yeah.
right, and
So
just the time we spent roaming around.
my
Like,
question is, would you give this person attention?
see, the other part of me is like, hey, even that one's my sister, right?
Is it though?
If they have proof, then
No,
yeah,
they
I guess
don't.
so.
They can't. No, they don't get your attention. Nuh-uh. So like you said, right? If they have proof and stuff like that, would we start questioning everything I say or that person says? Like from straight up like our childhood to our past events, to,
Right.
like
So, like, just
our
every memory
memories.
then comes into question, doesn't it?
Oh, so you would question all of our memories. Thanks.
I'm saying, I'm
Mhm.
not.
Mhm. Mhm. Of course, of course. You're not saying anything, aren't you? You're not.
I'm just
Disapproving
gonna very
anything.
swiftly move on.
Taylor
Okay.
Swift
So if
reference.
so if reality actually shifts, right? If they happen, if the shifting happens,
Yeah.
do you think there are certain places where this shift is more likely?
Yeah. Oh,
Like,
like Bermuda Triangle.
mm-hmm.
Right? It's like the classic spot where like ships and planes and stuff like that have vanished.
I quite agree with you
Right?
there.
What if this is just like a weak point between realities?
Mm-hmm.
And like the people who say like the people who have disappeared, like what if they're not lost?
Yeah.
Rather just like in a different reality. But
Reality, and they
then
just don't know how to come back here.
yeah, and they're either living like the worst life or the best life. Since we've already established like this is an okay timeline for most people,
Yeah.
with the world affairs right now, I don't think it's okay timeline. It's declining. But anyways, like what if they're living the absolute best lives or the absolute worst, or they're
Because
just
of
drowning
being
in the
so.
sea right now?
Yeah. You know where I think another place is
Yeah.
would be these airports and train stations.
Mm.
Because there's so many reports of people appearing and disappearing in transit hubs, like this whole man from Taured thing that we
Yeah.
spoke about. So I feel like could places designed for movement also actually be this weak spot for reality shifting? Because hey, there's so much crowded in this place.
Yeah.
You wouldn't even realize when one person switches, another person comes because there's just so much crowd.
See, that kind of also explains my hatred for like flying. Like I hate airports and I hate airplanes.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, what if my brain just knew? I'm like 1,000 light years ahead from everyone.
Amazing.
Yeah, I know, right? Also, I don't think you like this much, like
Mm-hmm.
what I think much and what I say,
Mm-hmm.
but like haunted places,
Yeah.
right?
I kind of knew your brain would go there at one point.
Right. So I'm a big fan of horror. She isn't.
Yeah,
But
I'm
my
not.
theory, right? What if ghosts aren't like spirits, but like they're people slipping in from like one in and out of realities.
Yeah.
Right? Some hauntings describe people who vanish later. Could they just be another version from our world? Sorry, another version from outer world.
I'm just gonna move past this 'cause I don't want to think about it.
Right? Like what if okay, so
No, we're
no no
not
no no
thinking.
no 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 wait, I have a question. I have a
And I
question.
don't have an answer.
You don't need to. I'm just proposing this out. What if ghosts are people who aren't completely able to cross the barrier between one reality and the next? That's why they're not completely clear. That's why you can see through them. Because they're like stuck
Because
in
they're here
between.
and there everywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay.
Just like move faster.
Yeah, we're done with this. Okay. I think the other place, because I feel like there's also something that is talked about a lot,
Yeah?
should be like sleeps and dreams and all of these nightmares and shit that
Yeah.
happen. Because a lot of people report that they wake up feeling like they're in a slightly different reality, like than what they were when they fell asleep. So, like, do our brains just keep shifting timelines whenever we dream? Like the
Yeah.
whole multiverse of madness of
Yeah.
Stranger Things,
Like
of
Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
what if that is that switch where
Yeah.
what if each dream you have, like in the movie it says that the dreams that you have is actually you in another
Yeah.
dimension,
Yeah.
right? So what if that is that shifting
Right.
place?
But it's scientifically been proven that your dreams are your old memories.
Yeah, I know.
But talking about shifting while we're sleeping,
Mm-hmm.
there's this concept thing that was really trending around
Yeah.
during 2020 2022 thing.
Yeah.
It's called shifting,
Mm-hmm.
right? Where you basically go to your desired reality. Right? So where you fall asleep and you go to your desired reality. Right? What if that? And some people have been like, yeah, I've shifted. I've gone to my desired reality. How? To what extent can we believe them?
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Everything is so uncertain.
Yeah.
You don't know who's actually just saying the actual, like, true stuff, and
Yeah.
who are just playing around because they want to make a fool of everyone.
Yeah.
And also, I feel like we're at
Like a
this
cross.
generation also. That's
Yeah.
a place where you just put something on TikTok that's just viral enough for someone to believe.
Yeah.
It just goes on and becomes someone's new reality, right?
Yeah. Because like I've heard so much about shifting.
Yeah,
And so many people have said, "Oh my God, yeah, I've shifted."
Yeah.
So like, is it just like what's a placebo?
Hmm?
Like one person is like, "Oh yeah, this works," and now everyone else just believes it does.
Yeah.
And like, as we're talking about that, I'm also thinking about like, what if we're shifting right now?
Oh my God, do not put these things in.
Right, not like your desired reality, but like other realities. Like we don't notice like extremely tiny shifts and changes in our world
Yeah.
every day.
Yeah.
But what if by listening to this and us recording this,
Mm.
we've already shifted into like a slightly different reality than the one we've started and we're
Can
there
you
at the start.
imagine that in 1 hour we've shifted to a totally different reality? But you know what? This is what is a little weird to me.
Yeah.
Because now, then we're obviously not saying that it is an individual thing.
Yeah.
Because there's a difference in saying I shifted reality
Yeah.
and somehow saying that the whole world at the same time shifted reality. Because you and I have been sitting here,
Yeah.
we've been doing this exact same thing.
Yeah.
So if I have shifted, you have also shifted. You should
Technically,
have
yes.
idly shifted with me, otherwise there would be something weird about this,
Yeah.
right? Either you will be just sitting quietly in one place and I'm like, wait, why aren't you talking anything?
Or like I'd be completely lost about what we're doing right now. Or you'd
Right?
be
Yeah. So
completely
ideally
lost.
everyone is shifting at the same time.
Yeah.
Or no one is shifting. So now the other question is that like what if is it an individual thing or is it
like
the whole
yeah,
world is shifting at the same time?
right? So that's flipping like
Ah,
oh
that's
my
freaky,
God.
isn't it? Just shifting and shifting and shifting.
Imagine.
I
It's
know.
like so. Is it a tiring process as well? Is that why we're just randomly tired for no reason?
Because we keep shifting. My
Because we're
God.
constantly shifting,
I don't like this.
right? Because like some days you'll literally do nothing, but you'll be like, oh my God, I'm so tired,
Exhausted.
so tired.
But
Like what if that's the energy we are taking up for shifting?
because unconsciously you're shifting places.
Yeah.
You don't realize.
Right. That's why you don't have a reason for being tired. Okay, so that's really messed up, isn't it?
Very.
Extremely. So let's bring up another messed up part,
Uh-huh.
right?
We seem to only be messing things up anyway.
It's okay, we're shifting anyways. So, what if there's like another version of you, like out there somewhere, and they want to take your place?
Wait, you mean like an evil doppelganger kind of
Yeah.
situation?
Or like, doesn't even have to be evil. They just think our life is better than theirs.
But how do you even know if you were swapped?
Swapped.
Right?
If you were swapped? I don't know. I don't know how you were swapped.
See, so the scariest part is that you probably wouldn't even know, right? Like if you suddenly shift into another version of reality, one that's just different enough
Yeah.
that your brain kind of starts rationalizing the changes without realizing. But having said that, I do know there are people who claim to
Yeah.
have noticed these changes.
Yeah. So there are like their entire like online communities are there
Yeah.
dedicated to these people who like swear they used to be different.
Yeah.
Like like whether it's like small details like logos of a brand or like song lyrics or product names or like
Yeah.
even like major
And this
life
whole
events.
logos of things also were quite recent, right? People are
Yeah.
like, can you think of what this logo and some like so, and I don't like that's the thing, right? So I don't know whether it is this whole psychological thing where someone in front of you is telling you you do not remember, and suddenly
Yeah.
somehow you just don't
The
remember,
Mandela effect, yeah.
right? Or that it's actually true because then they say that do you even remember what is this? And I'm like, wait, I can't remember what this logo
Right.
was.
So
I just cannot picture this
if I
logo.
asked you right now, what are the colors of Google? Like what are the colors of Google?
I know there's a red.
Yeah.
I know there's a yellow.
Yeah, there's a yellow.
There's a green.
There's a
There's a
blue.
blue. So
Yeah.
basically, the
But like what like
yeah, I don't that again. I don't think it's anything to do with this, but it's more of just observing.
yeah.
But I mean, if you bring me a fake Google logo,
Yeah.
I would know it is fake, but I don't know exactly why it is fake. Because
But
subconsciously, I
would
know
you
the
know
Google
it's fake
logo.
though? Would you know? So the Mandela effect, how it goes is that you'll see those videos on TikTok or Instagram or YouTube where it'll show you like four different logos,
And you have to say which is the
right?
correct one.
And
Yeah.
majority of people get it wrong.
Yeah. I don't know. I
I've
also
gotten it. You have gotten it wrong because we've done these stuff.
yeah, but I feel like that's also I don't know how much you can say that's just something because the reality is switching,
No, I'm not
or
saying it's because of
something just
reality.
because some people are just not that observant, or
Yeah.
you're observant about certain things, you're just not observant about the other
Yeah, that
things,
makes sense because it's
right?
so unusual for me to be memorizing logos.
Right. And now, if someone who loves Lay's
Yeah.
knows exactly the logo of Lay's because
Right,
either they
exactly.
see it or they're consuming it constantly, right?
Yeah.
While someone who is not interested in Lay's,
Yeah.
that has not eaten it in their life, would not even know how it looks,
Exactly. Right?
right?
So let's talk about these different like cases or
Yeah.
these different events, right? As we are saying the Mandela effect cases
Mhm.
where some people remember a world where Berenstain Bears was Berenstain. Okay, so
The
basically
A and the E, the spelling
yeah,
changes.
yeah. Or where Nelson Mandela died in the 80s when he actually lived until 2013. So like yeah, you just assume that he died earlier.
Yeah, somehow, even for me,
Yeah,
it's not about whether I read about him dying. But I
yeah,
just feel like Nelson Mandela has been spoken so much of he was. I
yeah.
feel like 2013
He's
is
like
too
centuries.
early.
Like why you died now, bro? Should you have
Yeah,
died
like
like
it
50
seems
years
too
ago?
early that he just passed away.
He's
And we're
like
talking like he has
yeah,
like 100 years of
yeah.
legacy behind
I
him.
would have been like 4 years.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
was 4 years when he
Yeah,
died,
right.
and you were even older. You were like 14.
Yeah, because of the 10 years. Yeah, good
Yeah,
maths.
shut up, shut up. Yeah, like crazy. Actually,
Can
you
you
were
imagine?
14, 15 when Nelson
Yeah, but it
Mandela died.
feels like as if when anyone who talks about Nelson Mandela, they're talking about some ancient person,
Yeah,
who's done huge things.
like who's near the caveman times. Like
Yeah, but that's also like, that also reminds me of these things where we see that we all feel that, oh my God, the right to vote or women being able to do stuff seems
yeah,
to be such an old concept.
yeah.
But you actually look back, it's like few years since when
It's
women
like
were allowed to vote,
1930s. Yeah,
right? So it's not that old. Our perception of time is so much greater at times
yeah.
than what it is.
We've also got personal memory discrepancies.
Yeah.
Am I saying that right?
Yeah, that is.
Discrepancies.
Yeah.
So some people report remembering childhood memories completely different than their family did,
Yeah.
or like having knowledge of things that never happened. So basically false memories.
Yeah.
But could that be an alternate timeline?
Yeah, I mean, not even false memory, it's just a different perspective on the memory.
Yeah, or like saying stuff that never actually happened.
Yeah, but you just somehow at that point. Also, I know this theory of how the brain, when it cannot figure out two pieces,
Yeah,
when it has two ends of a story,
yeah,
and even the middle is
blanked out.
forgotten,
Yeah,
it kind of fills it up based on what was there
right.
before and at the end,
So
right?
so memory is stored in fragments,
Yeah,
right? And we rebuild those fragments based on social and cultural influences, context, and stuff like that, right? So it completely makes sense. If something is unusual to you, you're more likely to change it to make it make sense to you.
yeah,
That's like effort after meaning.
yeah,
So everything around you has to make sense for you to actually remember it,
yeah,
right? Like as you're saying, you have two ends of a story which you don't understand, so you
yeah,
need to put a middle part in which makes sense to you,
yeah.
right? You've also got people who feel out of place. Some say they've woken up with they've woken up feeling off, like something is subtly wrong, and that memories don't match up with their current life.
Yeah. Right. So this kind of brings into question, if someone else took over your life, right? In this other version of you that slipped into this reality that has, slightly different memories, a different personality,
Yeah.
or even just basically different habits,
Mm.
would you even notice that? Like, would you fight to prove that you're the original? Because now there's this other thing, version of you.
Yeah.
Imagine waking up one day and everyone around you kind of insists that you've always been different, and suddenly the way you're behaving, which is normal to you,
Yeah.
is like, why are you behaving different?
Yeah.
Right? But everyone's like, wait, what? You've never done this. And you're like, this is how I've lived my life.
Yeah.
They're like, no, you've never done this. We know you, we see you 24/7,
Yeah.
and you have never done this. Right? Or would you kind of just accept this thing that, okay, you know what? Something is not adding up in my brain.
Right.
Well, let's just let it be as it is. And maybe they do remember your life better than you. So
Yeah.
would you then now start to doubt yourself?
Okay, so the question in my mind currently
Yeah.
is that if someone tried to take over my life, would they leave their universe and there would be two of me now in this current universe, in this current reality?
I think so, right?
Right. Because like they
But then that's
kidnap
not
me.
technically taking over your life. Yeah, you have to be missing from this for them to take
Yeah.
it over.
So like they kidnap me and then they're like, oh,
But
oh, I'm me now. That this new person is me now.
what if the person who's able to switch this reality
Yeah.
is able to even push you into another one?
Like push you into theirs, so you go
Yeah,
into theirs and they come
yeah.
here. But wouldn't damn dude. So like to some extent the people close to you in your reality would kind of notice.
Mm-hmm.
And person in their reality, especially if they were like a massive jerk and suddenly you're not as much of a jerk and you're
Yeah.
being nicer. There can't be like a random like click switch. They're not a jerk anymore.
Oh my god, what if people who change are actually just different?
Damn.
What if
Damn.
we're like, oh my
Dude.
god, this person changed overnight. Success does this to you and all that kind of shit. What if it's just a totally different person?
You know what this is reminding me of?
Yeah.
The movie Us.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really good movie. You should check it out. It's called US Us. Capital U, small S. It's a kind of horror movie, but it's really cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's.
So what if just everyone's like, oh my god, how amazing, they've
Oh,
changed for
they
the
feel sorry
better.
for their actions overnight, just randomly. No, they're just a new person. So what if the a phrase? Oh, they're a new person now.
Is actually because they're a new
Because
person
that
now.
exactly.
Freaky. Absolutely
Damn
freaky.
it! Like, but at the same time, what if it's already happened again?
Yeah.
Or like, right? If reality is shifting constantly, do you know if this is your original timeline?
Exactly, right? So what if
Right?
you are here from somewhere else?
Yeah, what if I've already been swapped like 3, 4 times and I've
Yeah.
just no one around me just realized because I've been similar? Oh my god, what if that person is so much smarter and is putting me in places where I'm similar to that original person? Oh my god. Mm.
I hope If you guys are also having these questions, please do let us know. Or is it just us who have gone
And if you're a
totally
scientist and
overboard?
you're like wondering and you know answers to this, please help us. Please. Okay. Final question for you.
Mm-hmm. For me,
For you.
I mean, yeah, obviously, who else will you ask?
Yes, I shall talk to the walls. Oh, the clock. How are you doing, clock? Are you from another reality?
Yeah, we
Did you
got
just
to move
switch?
on, move
Yeah.
on.
So, if a portal opened right in front of our eyes right now,
I kind of like just pushing it back on. Oh, but move on.
would you jump through?
I kind of started with this.
Shut
Okay.
up. Answer.
See, I do not have an issue jumping in,
Yeah.
but I would need like a list of what all side effects would happen, what would be different,
Mm.
how if there is a definite way of getting back if I really want to
Mm.
get back. I'm not gonna be jumping blindly.
So right. Right next to the little circle of the portal, there's this little tag which comes with little warning labels and it has all of the side effects.
Listen, no matter what how much fun you make, it should come with that, okay? People should not jump blindly into stuff. You should know what you're getting into.
Yes.
Okay?
Okay.
But what if I've already jumped the reality and I don't remember?
But
So I
I
take
raise you.
so I take all this list with me, one 10,000 page book with
Oh
me,
my god.
saying, "Oh my god, all of this! If this happens, this happens. If that happens, that. How do I come back? Everything." And I go there and I just don't remember any of this shit.
Imagine. Okay, but I raise you this.
Mm-hmm.
What if this conversation is happening in another universe? Just slightly different.
Well, I raise it.
I raise you.
I take that and I raise you more,
Yeah.
and I say, "What if in another universe, we're podcasters with millions of listeners?
Plot twist, we are. Just kidding, we're not.
We could be.
Now we are.
That's up to you now."
You better make it true now. Pay us. Give us money. Guys, would you like to have a little Patreon? Okay, so I have an idea for a Patreon. Shall I
Go
tell
ahead.
them? Shall
Go
I tell
ahead.
them? Okay.
When have you ever let me stop you?
So for the unsolved ones, like we were gonna put a dramatic reenactment of
Enactment?
reenactment of us in the planes where we're the captain, we're narrating out what happened and stuff like that. So I was thinking for our Patreon we could post that on, but obviously you have to pay for it. So if you guys are interested in our horrendous acting, but great, it's gonna be so funny, you're gonna laugh your ass off. It's gonna be so amazing.
Let us know.
Please don't pay us for it. I'm broke. She's not, but I'm broke. I don't have
So
money.
technically, you're not broke either because you literally live off me.
I live off everyone, guys. Sometimes I just feel like ordering a pizza. But I can't because I need to ask people for money.
Okay. Fine. So coming back to the episode, what did we actually learn today?
That I want pizza.
No, that's not what we learned.
That I'm broke.
No.
Okay, fine, I'll go to the next thing. So, right now, what we know is that reality, unstable. We may not be in the correct universe.
Mm-hmm.
And we probably both make terrible reality jumping decisions. We're just jumping through portals at this point.
Okay. That kind of sounds about right? So tell us.
Right.
Now this is up to you guys, the ones who are listening to us. If you could jump to another reality, would you? And if you have a parallel universe theory that kind of keeps you up at night, send it to us and we may just actually have a discussion of it and debate on it in a future episode.
Until next time, little creatures. But during this time, until we see you next, don't trust reality too much.